Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Jo number PMLP-211. This is a Duro-coated latch guard is what it is. And this is a fairly common sort of latch guard. A latch guard that you're going to use, typical application for this is that you've got a mortise lock with escutcheon trim, in that your dimensionally your dimensional allowance or area in which to fit a latch guard will work with this, and it generally will. That you have a strike plate installed on a typical mortise lock, and that you would like to have an anti-spread pin into the frame. We'll talk more about that in a moment. So the PMLP-211 is representative of this latch guard. This is a typical latch guard, with the only thing separating it from the PLP-211 is that it does not have a radius cutout for a rosette. So the stock image from the manufacturer shows indeed a mortise lock with escutcheon trim, and that's really where you're going to use this. Dimensionally, and by the way, there's a link below this video to a template, but I'm not going to go over all of those dimensions. 3-inch wide, 11-inch tall. This material is made of 12 gauge, and that's about 1/8 of an inch. This actually measures 0.112, so 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch being 0.125. This has a 1/4 inch offset in it, and that 1/4 inch offset is going to be very typical for use in standard hollow metal sort of doors. Typical commercial steel doors are inset into the frame, as is most doors. About 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/32, but typically 1/8. That's more common. And that 1/4 inch offset allows the fact that the door is going to be recessed into the frame a bit, and does allow for the frame to be ever so towed a little bit in or out, maybe a little bit of deflection in the door. You don't need a 1/4 inch offset when your door is inset 1/8 of an inch. But to have less than 3/16, you're probably going to be in a point where your door won't close very well. Plus, what you'll find is that you might find a fatigued rubber bumpers in the frame where you can actually, have that door while the inset, when parallel to the face of the door, is 1/8 of an inch. You might achieve something greater. So that 1/4 inch offset is used for that. Okay. Now the anti-spread pin. By the way, this is non-handed. You can install it either way. The anti-spread pin, this is obviously the frame portion of the unit. When you drill a hole into the face of the jamb on the exterior and the door closes and that pin sits and rests in that hole, what you're accomplishing there is a significantly greater resistance to someone inserting a bar into the door and frame and trying to push it open or spread the two apart, which is a very common way for people to try to break into a place. Sometimes it's very easy. You can see that total is about 1/2 of an inch. It can be very easy to spread a door and frame, especially if it's poorly installed. And quite frankly, I wouldn't go through the effort of installing a latch protector without a pin. There's no reason not to have it that I can think of. I can't think of any reasons why I would not want this. Except maybe the fact that you might be a handyman and you know that frame is packed solid with grout and you're not going to deal with trying to drill behind it, I suppose. Hard to say. This is in the DU finish, which is a Duro-coated finish. That is a steel base. This has a recessed area for the lip of the strike plate to reside in, so that you'll be able to get this installed very nice and very properly. Okay. Available in, of course, prime coat, chrome finish, gold finish. You'd be able to get this in as well. And it is a very typical item. Now, this is going to include carriage bolts, a couple of washers, and a couple of acorn nuts. And being carriage bolts, they will have a square profile to the underside of the head and that rounded head, so there's really nothing there to attack. Bolts intended for 1 3/4 installation. Flat washers, and then acorn nuts to finish off the head of that, inside of that bolt. The name Jo is synonymous with all things latch guard related, and door reinforcing or wraparound plates as well. But they are a comprehensive manufacturer of all things trim and auxiliary hardware related, door stops and kick plates, door pulls, pivots. They have a comprehensive offering of filler plates for use in steel doors and frames, and signage as well, many other things. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the full line catalog and review or familiarize yourself with their product line. If you have more than an occasional need of trim and auxiliary hardware, by all means familiarize yourself with the Donjo product line. Any questions on the Donjo PMLP-211 Duro-coated latch guard or any other Donjo product, please feel free to reach out to us.